Leo, it's your turn. Collective messages for Leo. So we rolled Leo and 8, which is strength for Leo. Now we are also getting very strong Aries energy. The very first card out of the deck is Emperor. Major Arcana for Aries. Also, this came out 2 days in a row. Clarifying the Emperor, we have reward. I just wanted to read this because Spirit is wanting to convey this. Okay, a powerful emblem representing the ultimate spiritual attainment and mastery that awaits those who persevere through their greatest ordeals. So it's a sublime realization that we are indeed capable of actualizing our most transcendent potentials by overcoming our supreme trials. So, and of course it's called reward and it's talking about prize. So it's that moment where you're like surprised that you pulled it off, even though that was the point, right? So either you are, whoever you are, you have authority, but what I'm getting from the essence of this read is that you are gaining control of your life, but it's gonna take several steps and very particular nuances to get there. You could be needing the assistance of an authority figure to get there. In the challenge, we have the Knight of Cups. So that speaks of someone gifting you something with no strings attached. It's really something that you need and want. In the subconscious, we have the Knight of Cups. So you're definitely following your heart. It also talks about a journey of not as trite as being like a romantic, but like moving from a spiritual place, a deep place. In the past, you could have celebrated with friends. Could have been like something about improvement is also very apparent in this read. Clarifying the Emperor, you're definitely trying to get paid here. Now, I think that a lot of us have realized that when you're dealing with an authority figure, like they make things seem like a lot better than it actually turns out to be. And then a little bit later you find out what the catch was and you're like, oh yeah, you made yourself out to be a very wise, generous person, and now I get the catch, right? Hold that thought, because you may be offered something. I think that this is in the challenge position because either you don't want to, someone wants to give you something, you don't want to miss the opportunity. A lot of times when we might not notice that someone has the power or ability to give to something, um, or we're so damaged from things not being what they seem that we pass it up. This is something that you wish for. Um, so it's either that or it's in the challenge position because you may be a little content where you're at. Like, you see how he's got his arms folded and stuff? Like, it's not in reverse, which is having good things and not really appreciating them. Um, but I'm going to get to this in a minute, why it might be that. Okay. So, in the heart of the situation, you're trying to get paid. Maybe in the past you didn't acquire what you needed or expected. Um, Sometimes this is a card of like breaking even, like you didn't advance any, at all. Like if you had done nothing, maybe you would have broke even, maybe you're even in the hole a little bit. Like this is disappointment. Clarifying the Nine of Cups, we have the Two of Wands, which does speak a little bit of like not just plans, but like um but also sacrifice. Maybe there is something here about fear. Um, if you notice, one of the staffs is tied. He's looking into plans of the future, perhaps somewhere else, and he's going to sacrifice something in order to expand his vision. So, like I said, um, there is something about having to leave something behind and not missing a wish fulfillment. And clarifying those two equals 11. Justice. We have the Chariot right next to the 7. This is 7 and this is 7. They belong to the same Sephira. So definitely there's something about your emotions here. Like, you're really disappointed that you didn't get, for whatever reason. I'm not saying, you were right or wrong, but your emotions may be out of balance. Like in order to like iron out these these troubles in business, like you may have to balance out your logic and your emotion. Like you should be able to move forward. um there is something here clarifying the Knight of Cups. There's something here about doing repetitive work that is less than totally fulfilling. It might be a job. These are right next to each other. um Eight Sephira talks about strength in another way. Maybe doing something in the meantime to get to something else. And clarifying the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Two of Swords. You may have been holding back. This is a very powerful person, but they don't have all the information. And as we know, the swords are using power, and whenever you use power, the user also gets cut. So this is actually a very controlled, peaceful person, but they have the moon, their emotions and imagination to go off of, not really